how do processed foods affect your health? The best way to answer that is to point out that till 50 years ago there were no processed food except breakfast cereal, and there are good reasons to look into the number of new childhood diseases that seem to involve the brain and did not exist prior to 50 years ago. To 50 years ago, there was no obesity epidemic, there were no diets, and dieting would have seemed absurd because the vast majority of people were slim and healthy. People still relied on their natural intuitive eating system that had kept us all slim and healthy for centuries. The people who were fat, even obese 50 years ago, were a very small minority. They were either people who suffered from diabetes type A, something that has always affected around 10% of the population, or they had a medical issue, like a thyroid condition. Diabetes type 2 is a whole other story. It didn't exist 50 years ago. It has a clear connection to processed foods. So how can you learn the details behind the things I've told you here, and how can you be sure it's all true? The fact is, very little of what I reveal can be searched and found. That's because the industry has made sure it's hidden information, kept secret for 50 years. To verify every detail, I urge you to attend the soon-to-be-launched webinar, The 3 World Events That Made Us Fat. I urge you to bring your friends, because almost everybody today has a weight problem within their own family, and this webinar will expose an industry that has their own research laboratories where they have scientifically created an addiction to support their plans to expand processed foods worldwide. They were so proud of their breakthrough they couldn't resist bragging about it. They proudly called it the Bliss Point. The webinar will reveal for the first time ever how it all happened, when it happened, and the brutal, diabolical methods that were used by the industry to break intuitive eating and to establish their prime position in our everyday food chain. So if you ask, how do processed foods affect your health? And if you happen to have a weight problem, or someone you love has a weight problem, and you wonder, how do processed foods affect your health? This is one webinar you can't afford to miss.